Welcome and thanks for joining us at EMII.com. I'm Kathleen Reddington with your hedge fund headlines. Today is Wednesday, August 20th, 2008. Hedge fund SageCrest Finance, which once handled roughly $900 million, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The Greenwich, Connecticut-based fund, managed by Windmill Management, describes itself as a credit opportunity fund that provided short-term debt to companies. Reuters reports that in its bankruptcy petition, the fund listed assets of $50 million to $100 million and debt in the range of $1 million to $10 million. And staying with hedge fund news, Greenlight Capital is against Natixis' planned $3.7 billion rights offer and has encouraged the French bank to sell back stakes in its parent companies to replenish capital. Bloomberg News reports that Greenlight Capital president and U.S. hedge fund manager David Einhorn said Natixis should consider alternative ways of raising capital. And in more hedge fund news, Consolidated Media Holdings will consider pumping more money into debt-laden PBL Media on the condition that they are asked by private equity partner CVC Asia Pacific. The Age reports that the potential for an equity injection into PBL Media was tackled by CMH Executive Chairman John Alexander at the annual results announcement following investor concern about the joint venture's $4.2 billion debt. And in other hedge fund news, JP Morgan Asset Management India Private Limited is to launch two feeder funds. SIFI.com reports that the funds are JP Morgan Emerging Europe, Middle East and Africa Equity Offshore Fund and JP Morgan JF Greater China Equity Offshore Fund. The investment objectives of the JP Morgan Emerging Europe, Middle East and Africa Equity Offshore Fund is to provide long-term capital appreciation by investing at least 80% of its asset in units of existing JP Morgan funds based in emerging Europe, West Asia, and Africa. And that rounds out today's hedge fund headlines. Thanks for joining us on EMII.com. For more details on these stories or much more, click onto our hedge fund channel online, read the full stories and the latest developments.